Here's what's happening this week from Main Street to Wall Street. Jobs, jobs, jobs. It was all about jobs on Friday morning after the Bureau of Labor Statistics reported that March non-farm payrolls rose by just 88,000 after a consensus of economists had predicted about 200,000 jobs. The unemployment rate edged lower to 7.6% from last month's rate of 7.7%, but we also learned that nearly 500,000 individuals left the civilian labor force. Societe Generale chief U.S. economist Aneta Markowska, who was expecting more than the consensus, said she was surprised by the report.
If you look at where the GDP and demand is tracking in the first quarter, we're probably going to see Q1 GDP in excess of 3.5%. There are some seasonal quirks with the weather. We'll have to take a look at those. The sequester might be a factor, but I am surprised that it is out of line with a lot of other data that we're seeing.
Even Democrats admitted the jobs report looked anemic. Congressman Rob Andrews, the ranking Democrat on the House Subcommittee on Health, Employment, Labor, and Pensions, placed blame on the sequester.
I don't think we should panic, but I think we should act intelligently. And the most intelligent thing we could do is replace the sequester with the same amount of deficit reduction, but spread that deficit reduction out over 10 years in a more sensible way. And, I don't think there's any connection. I don't think there's any question, rather. There's a connection between this anemic jobs report and the fact that sequester took effect March 1st.
Dan Mitchell, a senior fellow at the Cato Institute, said what worried him most was the labor force participation rate.
And it's not the job creation numbers that worry me the most, although they're very bad. It's the labor force participation figures. Those, to me, are tragic. Millions of people are leaving the labor force. They've gotten permanently discouraged, or they wind up scamming the disability system, or just living off government benefits. And that's basically a recipe that got countries like Greece in deep trouble.
That's what's happening this week from Main Street to Wall Street. I'm Joe Deaux, The Street.